Hey guys, check out this light display base that I purchased from a discount store for $4.99. It runs on 3 AA batteries, and it's got all these LEDs on it. Shines really bright. I thought it'd make a really awesome addition to any setups or dioramas, so this time I'm planning to use it on one of my displays. Hey guys, check it out. I got a package from Mr. Corellian himself. And here's what's in the package. 8 of the baddest and best bounty hunters in Star Wars. Those of you who know Mr. Corellian, he's a huge fan of bounty hunters. To me, he's really like the guru of bounty hunters. And a couple of weeks ago, I wrote him. I said, hey man, I need some loose bounty hunters to play with. Mine are mostly carded. Do you think you can lend me some? Without hesitation, he sent me a video outlining all of his collection and said, take your pick. So really, what an honor to have Mr. Corellian's collection on a toy sleepover, and I thank you so much, Mr. Corellian, for that. This time I want to do a scene that I've always wanted to do, which is the exact time and tournament where Han Solo wins the Millennium Falcon from Lando Calrissian. Now, I know that there's an official story to it, and there are even pictures of it from the Expanded Universe line. But the way that I've always envisioned it was that Han Solo won a sabacc game over the smuggler Lando Calrissian. This is one of the figures I've always wanted to open and play with. And that all these random bounty hunters would be there, and they also were participating in the tournament. And what's great about this scene is that it gives me an excuse to use all these random characters and display them all at the same time. And for that, I've also included some of my own favorite random or obscure characters like Boshek, Greedo, obviously, Boba Fett, Elors, and I am going to use this lighting base to create the centerpiece of the room, because the way I've always envisioned the room was this is a very simple room with a lighted table in the center. Alright, as for the setup, it's going to be really simple this time. I'm not going to do any diorama work. I will make the lighting and the characters do all the work, or the action figures I should say. And for that, I dug up this snack tray from the recycling bin. This says Ghirardelli. It's a brand of chocolates. It's got tons of cardboard in it. It's got great material. This is exactly what I'm going to use, and this has a lot of stuff that I can work with. As you can see, it's got these separator pieces. Already I'm thinking that if you reposition the separators, you can easily make 2 rooms for this whole diorama. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this lighted table here with all the characters in it, and that's going to be the background with a little bit of lighting as well for the diorama. Alright, this is what I've done so far. I've spray painted this black. I've folded in this little surface so that it looks like a little bar area. And I have this little room here that I'm going to make into a hangar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this. And I'm going to put a little bit of background. This is from my Battle Over Endor sets. Like that. Then I'm going to put some pieces of cardboard on it, just to make it a little bit higher on off the ground. And then the Millennium Falcon will go right there. This is the prize. So, closing it up again. That's what that looks like. And as you can see here, I've put a little bit of holes on top. And I'm going to use a little bit of lighting to shine on the vehicle. probably gonna look a little bit better later. Now for the center table, I'm using just a piece of cardboard, and taped on top of it is a material that is translucent. I wanted it to pass the light through, but I didn't want it to be like transparent. And what I used was a piece of this water bottle that you can find anywhere. Found some empty, and I cut it out. And I'm also going to be using that to make a little side table here out of that material. And just to show you guys what I'm talking about here, I cut out a little piece from the bottle, and you know, it makes a really good light effect. I'll put the cap on top, and I can make a side table using that. Okay, now here's pretty much the finished setup. I didn't want to do too much work at all. I'm going to fill in the figures. This is going to be the main center of the attraction. And that's a side table that's also using lights. And as you know, there's another light in there. And we're going to go ahead and put all the figures in now. Alright guys, check it out. This is the final result. This is the way it's always been in my head without even reading any of the expanded universe stuff. You know, Han won the Millennium Falcon over Lando over a straight up sabak game, like in a bar somewhere where all the scum of the universe were present. I put some stuff here that I thought was pretty entertaining. Here's Snaggletooth and Malars ordering a drink. They're wondering where the bartender is. And over here you got Aura Singh and Zuckuss watching, and Dengar's looking for something in his fanny pack. And also over here, I've always thought of Greedo as a crook who like tries to cheat. So in my mind, he's got caught cheating, and he's like being taken out by security. There's Chewie obviously rooting his buddy on. You know, and you can see there in the back, I got the Millennium Falcon with the background. You can see it far away, and that creates a little bit of a hangar perspective effect, because I wanted to make a point that they're betting over the big prize in the hangar. So that's how I have it set up. And it's, by the way, you know, that hangar has my Action Fleet Millennium Falcon in it, so that works out well. And this is my favorite part. Boba Fett, he's obviously always looking at the ladies, and Bochek, you know they're watching. They're probably the only ones enjoying that little piece of corner there. But again, the fact that I have lights, this is my first time trying stuff out with lights. It really takes away the attention. You didn't, you know, I had put in no work at all into this diorama, just a little bit of paint, and as you can see, I used a free box, and you really don't need to do much when you have lighting. It really, this camera doesn't do real justice to the actual scene, because the lights really capture your attention. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the lights in my room now, so you can see what it looks like without the outside lights. Alright guys, this is what it looks like with all the lights off. As you can see, really nice looking. I like the way the light hits the walls. It looks just like the dark cantina, similar to the one we see at Mos Eisley. And I really like the way that Millennium Falcon comes out in the back there. For a very simple diorama, this came out exactly as I envisioned it since I was a kid. Like, this is how I always thought that Han Solo won the Millennium Falcon from Lando. A little quick note, the figures are all standing. I have to blame this figure here that I'm using as the card dealer. 2-1B does not have the ability to sit, so, and also when I have all the figures sit down, they take up a lot more space. So in this case, I'm just having them all stand up, so it's a lot easier. Now, of course, I need to give a big thanks to Mr. Corellian, who lent me a lot of these figures. I'm really happy to get a chance to use up all of them in this really fun diorama. Simple but fun. As well as a lot of my other figures that don't get enough playtime. So thank you. If you guys are not subscribed to Mr. Corellian, please check out his channel. I am sure that you will find something you like. Mr. Corellian does a lot of fun things involving Star Wars, sometimes silly, and he's a very smart and articulate guy. So all his videos are clear and entertaining and funny. And you know what else is, he's actually really supportive towards the community. He's been very supportive towards me since the beginning of my time, and so I really appreciate collaborating with Mr. Corellian on this little setup. So this is probably going to be my nightlight for the next couple of weeks. And I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys have any dioramas involving lights or any ideas, let me know, because or post up a video response. I'd love to see it. You know, this is my first time trying out using lighting in a diorama or a setup, and you know, I realize it lets me get away with a lot. So as always, thank you so much guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next video.